or at shorter. I'm not calling it. I can't call a 1 mile track a short track because it's not.
Yeah.
Short tracks are like 3/4 and below.
Yeah.
So it's a shorter track.
Shorter track.
It's not a short track, it's a shorter track. Hey, what's going on, everybody? My name is Brad, and with me, as always, is John, and this is Race Car Spelled Backwards, Gen 2, Episode 99. John, what's going on, man?
Not much. Tired.
Tired?
Yeah.
Like you've slept for 2 days. How are you tired?
Hey, it's a long week. I've had a long week.
Yeah, so we missed last week. Missed you guys. Thanks for joining back after a week off. This guy here went to youth camp.
Yep.
He's a champion, right? You're the champ?
No, my girlfriend.
Oh.
She won.
You got beat by a girl?
Yeah, I did. Her first ever. This is my third year going to camp, and her first year. She comes out and she does it all.
Beats you, dominates.
Yeah.
She's like Ryan Blaney. She'd take you out to win.
Yeah, but long week. Like 5 hours of sleep every night and long hot days. So still recovering.
You had fun?
A lot of fun.
That's all that matters. You had a good time.
Yeah, it was a great time.
So, like you said, it's hot. It's hot here.
Yep.
It's really hot here. Like it's oven hot.
Oh yeah. You could cook some scrambled eggs outside.
It's crazy how hot it is. I mean, we're in like upper 90s every day for the foreseeable future. So, who knows? We might melt. We might be here next week. We might be. This is our last episode in double digits.
That's right. One episode to go next week. Episode 100.
I can't wait.
That's so cool.
I can't believe it. That's so crazy.
100 episodes. 100 races.
And I had to do 90 of them with Jamie. Actually, 89. You started on episode 90, right?
I believe so. Something like that.
It was either 90 or 89. So
yeah, something like that.
Jamie will probably be out of town. Who knows? He's always moving around. We'll have to get him on the show eventually. He'll be a guest on the show. He can squeeze in between us.
Yeah, make a return appearance.
We get the handheld mic for Jamie to talk with.
Yeah.
Hey, why not? We're going to put Bo in between us. Why not put Jamie in between us? Bo might fit better.
I was about to say, Bo.
No offense, Jamie. No offense, Jamie, but I'm pretty sure Bo's got you beat on the slimmer section.
The age gap will do that to you.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And Jamie's only in his 70s, so I'm just kidding. He's not a boomer. That'll get under his skin.
That'll trigger him.
So, episode 99. Got a lot to talk about today.
Yep.
Before we get started, let's talk about Designs by Sydney. If you didn't know, Designs by Sydney, she makes these custom hand-drawn minimalist stickers like these right here. Came prepared today.
Yeah. Advertisement. We're getting better.
She also does custom stickers of your choice. I got to talk to her because I kind of feel like maybe I need to get me a custom Josh Allen sticker to go on the back of here. And maybe a custom Bill's Mafia sticker. I think she could probably hook that up. So she does stuff like that. Shirts, as you'll see next week. Logos, ads, much more than that. I mean, anything you can think of, she's got all your graphic arts needs covered.
Yeah.
Whether it's professional or personal, you can count on Designs by Sydney to take care of you. And right now, if you use the code CAR, C-A-R, 624 at checkout, you'll get free shipping on your next order. I had to spell CAR out.
Just in case.
Yeah, I mean, I might struggle with that. Like car, is that a K or a C? But
yeah, as a dyslexic, you can relate to other struggles.
Yeah, and
with spelling.
I'm just trying to help out the dyslexics out there. It's car as with a C, C as in car.
C as in cat for car.
Yeah. Car 624, free shipping right now with Designs by Sydney. And if you haven't voted, it's probably too late by the time you watch this. But next week on Monday, make sure you vote in which was a good race. Which race was better, Paul? So it'll be next week will be Xfinity Truck Cup race. Which one do you think was the best out of those three?
Yep.
Last time I checked, the Cup race was definitely trending the highest as the best race this weekend.
Cup race was great. It was actually a really good race.
I have to say, I tend to believe it was a good race too.
Yeah.
So anyway, make sure you check out Designs by Sydney. Before we get into the racing stuff, make sure you check out Designs by Sydney.
Yep.
You can pause the show here if you want. Go directly to designsbysydney.com and check out our stickers. I know with Ryan Blaney winning, she's a big Penske fan. She likes Blaney. She likes Joey Logano. Struggled saying it.
Who?
Yeah. And she likes Austin Cindric. So
Okay.
we know she does good, cool stickers when the Penske boys win. So with Blaney winning this weekend, you're definitely going to want to make sure you check out Designs by Sydney for her newest win sticker for Ryan Blaney.
Yep.
So racing hot takes, John.
Let's
You
get
ready?
into it. Yeah, let's roll.
So last week, read an article said the team owners apparently are not happy with charter negotiations. They say this last deal that NASCAR gave them was probably the worst offer that NASCAR has put on the table.
Dang.
So what does that actually mean? Who knows? Teams haven't actually come out and said they would do this, but what could happen, what I would love to see happen actually,
I'd love to see.
Rick Hendrick, Roger Penske, Joe Gibbs, Richard Childress, they don't have to race next year. If the charter deal does not get completed, there is nothing holding those guys to racing in NASCAR next season.
Could you imagine that?
No, that's what I mean. Could you imagine a NASCAR without Rick Hendrick, Penske, Gibbs, Trackhouse, Childress? I mean, what if Gibbs and Hendrick, what if they set out?
That's insane. Like, there goes arguably, I mean, okay. Hendricks, Penske, Gibbs. 3 biggest teams in NASCAR. Gone.
Correct. That's what I'm saying. Like,
Ford, Chevy, Toyota. Their biggest teams. Just out.
I think, what if they took that money and put it somewhere else? You know, what if they took
It'd
a year
probably be
off?
smarter.
I think they should.
Like, business-wise, it'd be smarter, obviously. We know from, like, Denny, they're not making money.
That's what I mean. Like, Denny says it cost him money to run this team. So what if, hypothetically speaking, next year you didn't have some of these teams step up? Then NASCAR has to replace those cars with other cars, other drivers.
And
What are they going to bring up, the Xfinity drivers?
you're not replacing those guys.
That's what I'm getting. That's what I mean. Like, but to see Hendrick, could you imagine if Rick and Joe took all their money and put it into the Cars Tour race for next year?
Oh my gosh.
Now, granted, they're going to lose sponsors. They're going to lose if they decided not to run NASCAR. Their sponsorship dollars would drastically drop.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no way they could. But I'm just saying. Or what if Rick puts it into IndyCar next year? What if Rick only runs 3 cars at Cup and 1 car at Indy? I mean,
Rick takes Larson and just runs to Indy.
or runs everywhere. Take Larson and put him in everything next year. Make him like your all-star driver who runs all Le Mans, 24 Hours Daytona, Indianapolis 500, Daytona 500. You could do the double, and if you don't make it, oh well.
Yeah, it doesn't
No
matter.
big deal. We're just here for trophies and to upset your charter. I mean, that's what I would love it. I think it would put the France family and NASCAR back in check. Because right now, NASCAR, the France family and NASCAR and the networks have full control over this sport.
Yeah, and I think it's ridiculous that we're still talking about charters. Like, how long have we been talking about charters now?
All season.
It's crazy. Like,
Really for 2 years. This conversation started last season with me and Jamie.
I mean, come on, NASCAR. Let's just get this over with. Give the teams what they
Something.
want.
All the teams want is a guaranteed charter. They're not asking for guaranteed money. They're asking for a guaranteed percentage of the money. So if NASCAR's saying they can't give them a lifetime charter agreement because what if the TV partners backed out? Well, if the TV partners are paying $1 billion and the teams get 40% of that, if the TV partners back out and all NASCAR has is $1,000, then the teams only get 40% of $1,000. Only thing that changes is the amount. The percentage never changes. And I think that's what the teams their point is, like, give us lifetime charters. And I agree with the teams. These guys are investing a lot of their personal money into something to break even, you know.
And NASCAR's not letting that happen right now. So I think it's ridiculous that we're still talking about this. It frustrates me. I don't like talking about charters. I would rather talk about racing.
No, we can talk about racing.
I just think it's crazy. Like,
I do too. I think it's crazy our headlines are about charters and teams wanting to get paid.
Yeah, like, this is the biggest motorsport in North America. Our teams should be getting paid.
You would think it's the biggest motorsport, but that new TV package Indy just got, the Indy Series, has every single one of their races or primetime event, or at least on a prime station on the big network of Fox. I think next season it's like 7 races total are on the main network between NBC and Fox.
Wow.
That says a lot. Like, Fox obviously, I think it has a lot to do with the timing too. So IndyCar race is hour and a half, 2 hours long. Yeah. It's easier to market that and fit it into a TV slot
than a 3.5 hour race.
Correct. So I do think that's why Indy got better exposure. It's just, to me, it's like a slap in the face. Like,
yeah.
What Fox has treated NASCAR like crap, in my opinion, all season.
Oh, absolutely. We've been talking about that all season.
So I think because of that, I look at this new TV deal they made with Indy, and I'm like, man, we get shafted every single time.
Yeah, I think they're trying to.
Yeah, I do too. I think they're just trying to see how much they can get away with.
And obviously, it's a lot. It's a lot more than I want to see, or a lot more than I care about.
Yeah. So, other news. Martin Truex Jr. is officially retiring from full-time NASCAR racing, and he even said ideally he would like to run 10 races next season.
I mean, that's still a lot of races.
What do you think about Truex retiring? Shocked?
Not really. I mean, I think we all saw it coming.
Yeah, I don't feel like Martin's had fun driving the next-gen car whatsoever.
No. I mean, he started out the season pretty good, but past couple of weeks been some rough weeks. Been a rough week for the Gibbs cars in general, but
Christopher Bell finished 4th.
Yeah, Bell's actually been doing great. It's the older guys.
He was struggling for a few weeks at the beginning of the season, so
I guess it's just flip-flops.
Yeah. Now they've got it together and everybody else is struggling, so.
Yeah, but Martin Truex retiring, don't surprise me. Good for the guy. I mean, he's a great driver. Been around for a long time. I think it's about time.
Yeah, he's just, it's it, man. Like, Denny is basically all that's left. Denny and Kyle Busch from my, I won't say my childhood, but like when I really got into NASCAR, my late teens, early 20s.
Yeah.
Truex. I mean, I remember when Truex drove for Dale Jr. in the Chance 2 Motorsports car in the Xfinity Series. I mean, I was a Truex fan because he was driving for Dale Jr.
Right.
Then he went to Cup, and I kind of lost interest in him. Like, my opinion of Truex is like, yeah. It's like he's not set. He's a phenomenal driver and a phenomenal talent. There's no doubt about it. The man's got the resume to back up that statement.
Oh, yeah.
He's probably one of the best Cup drivers in history. There's no doubt about it. And what he did in the 78 car with Cole Pern at Furniture Row was amazing. I have mad respect for the guy. But he's not exciting or boring. He's kind of less like in the middle, like sliced bread. You know, it's just
he's a good driver to have around.
Great to have around, but you're not really, I don't know, like I take him or leave him. You know, it's like I was never a massive fan and I never hated him. You know, he never did anything for me to swing either way.
I think once he's gone, you'll be like, oh, kind of miss seeing Truex on the track.
Oh, you're definitely going to miss him. But that opens up a seat. Absolutely. So who are the top candidates to take over this number 19 car for Joe Gibbs next year?
I mean,
in your mind? I can tell you who I'm hearing, but who do you think?
I don't know. We've talked about it some, and I'm like, I think getting a young guy in there, so maybe pulling someone from Truck Series like Corey Heim, or taking someone from the Xfinity. I don't know. I haven't really thought about it too much, but I think getting a young guy. I mean, we actually talked about this yesterday.
Yeah, during the race.
Yeah. Hendricks, they got Elliott, Larson, Bowman, and Byron. They were all pretty young guys when they brought them all in. Like Hendricks completely rebuilt their team pretty much, and now they're the best team in NASCAR.
Correct.
Like Denny has it max, I'd say 3 seasons left.
Yeah, I think Denny will run 2 more seasons with Gibbs. He'll either run 2 seasons at Gibbs, 1 at 2311 and retire, or he runs 1 at Gibbs and 1 more at 2311 and retire. So either 2 to 3 seasons. I'm with you, Max. Denny's out. Now, initially, I was thinking they need a veteran on the team, but really you think 2 or 3 more seasons, that gives Gibbs, the youngest driver, will have 4 seasons under his belt.
Yeah.
Christopher Bell has plenty of experience at that point. I mean, he's been in the Final Four the last 2 seasons.
Exactly.
Truex will be gone. Denny will be gone.
Get some young guys.
You might as well talent. You might as well
do what Hendricks did.
Yeah, fill that seat with a young guy now. I don't know who. I think Chase Briscoe is the leading candidate in the rumor mill. I've also heard Kyle Busch.
I don't know about that one.
If they couldn't find funding for Kyle Busch last or 2 years ago, they're not going to be able to find funding to pay Kyle Busch now.
Absolutely not.
I mean, Chase Briscoe brings money with him with Mahindra tractors.
Yeah.
So I think Briscoe's probably the leading candidate, but you got Noah Gragson. You got Chase Briscoe. You got Priest. Who else you got over there? Stuart Haas. I'm missing somebody. Berry.
Yeah, Josh Berry.
You got Josh Berry. I mean, Josh Berry and Rodney Childers. Package deal, maybe. Yeah. Take them to – I mean, I'm just saying Joe Gibbs is in a good position right now to replace these guys because of Stuart Haas.
Yep.
And everybody – Chase Briscoe was the number 1 candidate to go to the 21 car. Well, then it was like, no, he's going to front row.
Right.
And it's like, no, he's going to Gibbs now. I mean, for Briscoe, this has got to be great.
I know, right?
And he's
all right, let's go.
And he ran decent, or is running a little better at short tracks, or at shorter. I'm not calling it. I can't call a 1 mile track a short track because it's not.
Yeah.
Short tracks are like 3/4 and below.
Yeah.
So it's a shorter track.
Shorter track.
It's not a short track, it's a shorter track. Shorter than a 1.5 mile track. But that's a soapbox I don't want to get on. But anyway, I think the option, there's a lot of good options here. I don't like John Hunter Nemechek as the option. I don't think he's proved his.
No.
I don't think John Hunter is the next big thing.
No.
Now we could play this back in 5 years and be like, nah.
I guess we were wrong.
He's a 4-time champion now.
Yeah.
I doubt that.
Right. So you know a little bit more about this than I do. So what would your dream lineup in the next 4 years be for Joe Gibbs?
Christopher Bell, Ty Gibbs, Corey Heim, and this Corey Heim I think should go in the 19. I've heard rumors that he's going to 2311 next year, but I think you put Corey Heim in the 19 this year.
Mm-hmm.
I think, or maybe you put him in 2311 and let him get his rookie season out there, and then move him over to Denny's spot when Denny retires. Maybe that's, and then Denny and him kind of swap rides.
Yeah,
maybe you do that. I don't know. I think, but I think Corey Heim, my dream lineup, or what I think perfect would be Corey Heim, Christopher Bell, Ty Gibbs, and Briscoe might not be a bad pick.
Yeah.
I really like Noah.
Noah Gragson.
I would like to see Noah Gragson in a winning ride, whether that's HMS or whether that's Gibbs.
Right.
If he can't go to HMS, then put the boy in a Gibbs car and let him
see what he can do.
He's got the personality. He just needs the ride to back it up. He's got a great personality. He's good for the sport. He just needs to be in the equipment, and I don't think So the other rumor going around right now is Noah Gragson could end up at RCR with Bass Pro Shops. RCR has a tie to Bass Pro Shops already.
Yeah.
My opinion of that is don't do it, Noah. Like, look at
Busch.
Busch. Arguably, yeah, I can't even get that word out.
Arguably.
Yeah. What is it?
Yeah.
He's one of the best drivers in NASCAR. Kyle Busch is.
Look at his resume.
And he is not, this is the most depressing thing he's ever been through, probably.
I know. And
it hurts my feelings to watch him suck this bad every week.
I was about to say, and we used to not like Kyle Busch because he'd wreck Dale Jr. all the time. And I feel a little bad for him. Like, man, can't catch a break.
No, he can't. It's just one thing after another. So if I'm Noah Gragson and I'm like, hey, where do I want to go ride at next year? Oh, I got an option to go to Gibbs or RCR.
I'm going Gibbs.
I'm looking at this RCR thing and throwing it in the garbage.
Yeah.
No offense to RCR, but y'all suck right now.
Yeah.
And if Pop's going to keep little man in the car, Mr. Austin Dillon, there's no way I would go over there. Ideally, I'd want to see Kyle go to the number 3 next year and Noah go to the number 8. That's the only way this would work.
But that's not happening.
And I want Dale Jr. to come in as partner. And I don't see that happening either. Dale's already said he don't want a partner.
Yeah.
He wants to run it out of Junior Motorsports. So I think Noah needs to be knocking on the Gibbs door pretty hard and heavy right now. If I'm Noah, I'm fighting Chase Briscoe in the parking lot over the Gibbs job. One of those two guys need to go, and I think Noah's the one. I think you put Noah in it, and then if you need a veteran driver in 2 or 3 years, you replace Denny with a veteran. Or maybe Eric Jones. Well, he's already been there and didn't work out. So
yeah, I don't know. I don't think you need the veteran.
Maybe Corey LaJoie.
Yeah, that's a good one.
But
like I said,
he ran good yesterday for like 3 or 4 laps. And then he went to the back. And then he got back up front. And then he went to the back. And he got back up front. And he went to the back.
He tried.
Then he finished mid-pack.
Yeah, he tried.
I really, really want to see Corey LaJoie do good. Really do. I really do. Not just for Janet's sake. And not just because I don't want Deb to beat me up. But I really want to see Corey do good. I think he can.
Obviously, he's got the talent. We saw it. We saw it this week during the race. There is talent there. He just needs to clean some things up, but he's definitely got it.
He's got bad luck, too.
Oh, yeah.
But I think it's a product of the car. Maybe put him in a Gibbs car.
There's a lot of people you put in a Gibbs car.
And they'll do better. But Gibbs isn't, like you alluded to, Gibbs isn't what Gibbs used to be. So, all right, John, what do you think it was? Percentage.
Okay, so here's my thought process, right? We watched the race. There was passing, multiple lanes, 3 wide racing, tire fall off, stories, strategy. It had it all. I cannot think of a reason to say it was a bad race unless you're a Larson fan. And then I can see where you go. Maybe if you're a NASCAR employee, you're like, oh, this race was too good. We need to do worse next week. Maybe. But I honestly can't see a reason. Let's be honest. Denny wrecked. That's got to put it up at least a point.
It's worth 2 points.
Yeah. But I'm thinking it's high this week. And I'm just going to go flat out 90.
Not bad. It's currently at 92% yes. Jordan said 80. Jeff said 80, 84. I thought they were both crazy. When I voted this morning, yes, I voted yes on the poll.
Yeah.
When I voted yes, there was no doubt in my mind this would be a 90% or better race.
Yeah, that's why I just went with 90. I felt like that was pretty safe.
This is the best shorter track race we've had in the next gen car, minus Bristol.
Yeah.
But Bristol's a short track.
Right.
I'm talking your Phoenix, your Richmond, your New Hampshires, your Dovers. Those are not short tracks, people.
No.
Those are just racetracks. They're shorter than a mile and a half. The only thing short about a 1 mile track is a half a mile.
Exactly.
That's the only thing shorter. So I cannot get behind calling this a short track, nor will I ever call it a short track. But if I had to pick between Iowa and the Corn Belt versus Phoenix and the desert, I'm going to the Corn Belt every single time.
Absolutely.
It is the ugliest track on the circuit.
Without a doubt.
It looks like you let a bunch of blind high school kids repave that track. But
man, does it race well.
It races good.
It races good. So
maybe just stain the rest of the track black. Just blend it with some color, Don't.
Then you can't even see the good grooves.
I don't want them to repave the whole thing.
No, I don't.
They might mess it up.
Exactly.
Like NASCAR has a history of destroying good tracks with pave jobs between NASCAR and SMI. Don't touch it.
Let it look ugly.
Yeah,
like, it's fine. I don't care.
Or take some black paint out there. Just crawl on. You spray paint it on there. Whatever you gotta do.
Looks,
you can make
looks
it look
aren't
better.
Everything NASCAR.
No,
you've got a good track. It races well in the next gen car. It's hard to come by these days. Let's leave it that way.
Yeah, that's where I'm at.
Yeah,
I think we just leave it alone because this race remind. There was a moment where I was like, "Is this 2006?" Like that's how enjoyable it was for me, and that's been a long time.
I mean,
long time.
Talk about Larson going from 32nd to 4th
twice. Dude made his way through the pack twice.
I mean, when's the last time we got to say that about a race?
2006.
Exactly. I mean, a great car, a great driver on a great track where you could actually pass. I mean, Ryan Blaney, last laps of the race, he was passing lap traffic. It's not like Wilkesboro when Logano got up to, was it Bubba? He couldn't pass him for 40 laps.
I don't know if the tires were wearing out or just blistering and falling apart. I really don't care either because tires mattered. They had to adjust their strategies, change the way they drove. Tires weren't lasting that long at the beginning of the race. I mean, they were getting 50, 60 laps, and we started having tire problems in the beginning.
Yeah.
But just like Denny Hamlin said after Bristol, give us a tire, we will overcome it. Yep. We'll figure out how to make it last. That's just what we do.
And that's exactly what they
Blaney
did.
made those tires last over 100 laps at the end, like 125
Took that
laps.
Two tire stop. It was like, okay, let's see how this, and it worked.
Yeah. Blaney did. Blaney drove that car, but it mattered. How you drove the car mattered.
Yep, he was saving time. He was saving there at the end. That's why Byron kept catching him a little bit, and then once Byron got a little close, you put the floor down, and you were like, all right, here we go. But I mean, he made it.
Made it work.
2 tire stop was the play.
Yeah. And, Larson, Suarez took Larson out so the rest of the field would have a chance.
Yeah.
Because unfortunately for the rest of the field, including Ryan Blaney, Ryan Blaney led a lot. Yes. He led like 200 laps, right?
Something like that. He led a lot of laps.
But if Suarez wouldn't have wrecked him, let's see, Ryan Blaney, he led 200 laps, 201 laps. If Suarez wouldn't have wrecked Kyle Larson, Blaney would not have won that race.
No, Larson was winning that race. That was Larson's race to win.
The only reason Blaney led 201 laps is because Kyle Larson had to come from the back.
Yeah.
He had a tire issue. Well, he didn't, but he thought he did. Better to be safe than sorry.
Right. And I mean, with the car he had, why not? And I mean,
his crew chief even said, dude, we're ridiculously faster than everybody else.
Yeah.
I don't even know I think they're faster because their driver is better.
Yeah. Which is awesome. Like, when's the last time we could say that in the Cup Series? That their driver's better and that matters.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I mean, I think Larson is 10 positions better than his car.
Yeah.
Any car you put him in, he can finish. You can put him in a Rick Ware car at a 1.5 mile track, and he's going to finish 10 positions better than Justin Haley. Nothing against Justin Haley. I think
Larson's just that good.
Larson's the most talented driver on the track currently.
But without a doubt.
I mean, I'm sure there's people who disagree with that statement, but
I don't know how you can disagree with that after this week.
Or after last week. He won the road course and then comes to a shorter track and almost wins it.
Dominates.
He would have won.
Oh, absolutely.
There's no doubt in my mind. Larson had that race won yesterday until Daniel Suarez said, I can't beat him heads up, so I got loose.
Oh, no.
Whoops. I need to see the data. I need TJ to show me the data from the SMT. I need to know, did he get loose or did he intentionally turn right? Because we've been watching him go 3 wide all day, and it worked.
Yeah.
So,
I don't know.
Ryan Blaney leads the most laps to bring home his first win of the year in dominating fashion, making him the first driver to win Truck, Xfinity, and Cup at Iowa.
It was pretty cool for Blaney. I mean, shoot, he did a burnout, so.
I'm good with it. Yeah, I'm good with
Yeah.
it. We got like his second burnout in his whole career.
Yeah, at an inaugural race for the Cup Series, and he's won all three in the series. I mean, I think that deserved a burnout with all his family and friends there too.
Yeah, I'm good with it. I'm not a Penske fan usually, but I like Blaney. I like his personality. I like Blaney off the track. You know, Roger Penske used to not let his drivers have beards or facial hair of any kind until Ryan Blaney.
Really?
Well, most of them I don't think could grow facial hair. Like Joey's not old enough. I mean, he's old enough to use Hair Club for Men because he's got a wig on, but he can't grow facial hair, obviously. So
That's been a problem.
Austin Cindric's definitely not old enough yet. But Blaney looks like a lumberjack.
I know.
And I think it's cool.
Yeah.
I think it's cool that Penske changed his rules for Blaney. So
yeah.
Yeah, Blaney's part of the crew with like Elliott and all those guys. So I mean,
he's a cool guy. So.
He used to have that podcast called Glass Case of Emotion. It's a pretty cool podcast.
I've never heard of that.
It was pretty cool. I enjoyed it. Had Kim Kuhn in it.
Oh.
So coming into this weekend, most of the NASCAR podcast, I don't know, you probably didn't listen to any last week.
No.
But I listened to a lot of them last week, and they had this being the worst race ever. They were saying the paved job on this track was going to ruin everything. Kevin Harvick said this will be the biggest fail in NASCAR of the year.
I don't know.
DBC, they didn't think it was going to be that good with the paved job either. Heck, I didn't think it was going to be that good of a race when I saw pictures of the paved job. I'm like, what kindergartner did this? There's no way we're letting Denny's daughter out here paving again. Like,
hey,
they weren't even even. Yeah, Molly probably could have done a better job. But, I mean, they weren't even even.
No, I know, you told me, or I think you sent me something.
Sent you a picture of it.
Yeah, you sent me a picture. I was like, oh, that looks
horrible.
That looks pretty bad.
How y'all make this kind of mistake? Like, this is like a mistake of epic proportions.
But hey, I mean, it turned out phenomenal.
I mean, I hope Kevin Harvick comes on his podcast this week and goes, I was wrong. Just start the show out, Kevin. I was wrong.
Yeah.
Because you were
a fantastic race.
Phenomenal race. I mean, this is arguably one of the best races I've seen in a long time that was not a drafting style track race.
Yeah.
Atlanta, phenomenal.
Yep.
Kansas this year, phenomenal.
Yep.
Now, if Kansas is not a drafting style track, but Kansas is, for some reason, this next gen car and Kansas love each other.
Yeah.
But if it's not one of those two tracks, it hadn't been a good race in a while. And here we go.
Bristol was good, but that's for unknown reasons.
Yeah. Denny peed in the tire compound. That's why.
Yeah.
So we have no idea why it was a good race. This one, I don't even know. I heard they brought the Wilkesboro primary tire, and whatever they brought.
Let's bring it there every year.
Yeah, and whatever they're doing for paving, I mean, we don't usually get 2 grooves anywhere on a new pave job.
Right.
And the last 2, we've got it.
They had 3 this time.
Yeah, and Wilkesboro, we have multiple grooves at Wilkesboro. Even though it wasn't a great race, we have multiple grooves.
Yeah. The Xfinity race was a great race at Wilkesboro.
Yeah.
Not the Cup race.
Not the Xfinity race, truck race.
Oh, the truck race, yeah. That's my bad.
You're getting them mixed up, man.
Yeah.
So, no, I thought it was – I liked it. So, this is what I don't understand about NASCAR, though. NASCAR is the most inconsistent sanctioning body ever. And we said that a trillion times. Explain to me why yesterday we had multiple cars, flat tire, bounce off the wall. You had Eric Jones cut down across the whole field to get to pit road.
No caution.
Yeah, Michael McDowell hit the wall. I think you had Ross Chastain at one time, blew a tire. Hit the wall. No caution. Then you have Daniel Hemrick. Skim. I'll say he skimmed it. He didn't hit it. He skimmed it.
He
didn't even knock the wrap off his car.
He might have slowed down like 2 miles an hour.
And we got a caution. Throw the flag.
In the middle of a pit stop cycle.
So, I mean, we had cars spin out at Atlanta in the middle of a pit stop cycle, and NASCAR's like, oh, I don't see no wreck.
We're not trying to call cautions here in the middle of pit stop cycles.
That's part of racing, NASCAR.
If they're
in the 80s, people got stuck a lap down because of a pit. It just happened.
If they're spinning out, then yeah, you call it. Like, who was it, Gregson?
Yeah, he wouldn't, but he He was sideways.
Exactly. So I
He
understand.
saved it. That was amazing.
Yeah, that was phenomenal. So I completely understand the caution there.
No, I don't.
You don't?
No, you threw it too soon. Let these drivers do what they do best. I mean, car control should be part of racecraft. Noah Gragson went out there, put his nuts on the dash, and saved it. I mean, he's one-handed it and saves it. I mean, the boy can drive. Let him drive. Don't throw a caution. He saved it.
I don't know.
Give him a second. They're trigger happy. And then they got guys bouncing off the wall, knocking the snot out of each other. They're like, what are we going to do? I mean, come on, NASCAR. Like, it annoys me at the inconsistency.
Obviously.
Yeah, I'm getting worked up. Can you tell?
Yeah, I can.
So I'm passionate about cautions. It's just because what Noah did was phenomenal driving. I mean, could you imagine if they would have thrown a caution when Earnhardt got in the grass at Charlotte?
That's true.
Or when he cut the grass at Sonoma? I mean, these are major moments in NASCAR history that we remember today because they didn't throw a caution.
That is true. I understand that.
Now we're talking about the dude up in there. Oh, whoops, too soon. I'm sorry. We need a take back. Like, just kidding.
Keep racing.
Yeah, flip it green. Just throw the green flag right back out. Like, yellow, no, green. Like, let's have a switch up. That would be almost entertaining. Like, I'm good with that. So, yeah. Kyle Larson takes Daniel Hemrick and somebody else 3 wide. Ends up, not Daniel Hemrick.
Daniel Suarez.
Suarez gets into him. Like, and then Suarez comes out.
It was Keselowski.
Yeah, it was. And then he got up into Denny when Suarez hit him. Suarez got
Denny
loose.
had a rough day.
Yeah. Oh, God, yeah. Suarez got loose when Larson took him 3 wide.
He's like, what do I do?
But that ain't on Larson.
No.
That's on Daniel.
I mean, the gap was there. Larson took it.
Daniel ran out of talent.
Yeah.
That happens to Daniel quite a bit.
It does.
He ran out of talent at Gibbs. Guess what? He got fired.
Yeah.
He moved on to Trackhouse. Now he's at Trackhouse. I mean, at some point, Pitbull and Justin are like, hey, man, you're costing us money. You got to go. You either got to go on the track and start winning, or you got to go. And look, I think a lot of these drivers who are mediocre talent, I think they take advantage of Larson because Larson drives all out on the edge every lap.
Oh, yeah.
Because he's capable of it.
Exactly.
Not everybody's capable of driving like Kyle Larson. So I think they take advantage of it and they wreck him.
Oh, in theory, Larson's move should have worked, should have got his position. So it's on the restart. It's when you make your moves is on the restart. And I understand the perspective of Larson's got the fastest car and he's the best driver on the track. Maybe he's a little bit more conservative on that restart, but
no, that's where you got to go.
Exactly. It's Larson. Like, no, you don't. Like, I understand that argument, but I don't think it's the right one. I think he makes that move every single time. And
he shouldn't change a thing.
No. You should race like that every week.
But Larson just expects the other drivers to be able to control their cars. And
yeah. What he's saying in his interview is like, I should have been more careful of who I'm driving around or something.
You get back there with the squirrels, that's what happens.
Yeah.
And that's what happened with Larson. He got back there with the squirrels, and they squirreled around.
Yeah.
I mean, because you watch it, what killed me is you got the idiots on the broadcast saying it's Larson's fault.
It was not Larson's fault.
I don't know how long Jeff's been out of a car, but it's been too long because he ain't got a clue. There's no way you put that on Larson.
No.
Larson went 3 wide. Daniel Suarez, I about called him Hemrick again. Suarez goes in there and can't hold his car down.
Yeah.
That's on him.
That's not Larson's fault.
It ain't my fault Daniel can't drive as good as Larson. He ain't blame me.
Yeah.
I mean, he might as well have blamed me. It's the equivalent of blaming Larson. Like, it's completely pointless. Like, the only reason we're talking about Daniel Suarez on Monday today
is because he wrecked Larson.
Exactly. So he's got to make sure he gets his TV time.
Yeah.
You take out the best driver in the field, you're going to make it on TV.
That's right.
And then his crew chief came on and goes, Larson, that's definitely Larson. That's his fault, 100%. He got Cliff Daniels coming on like, we're not going to discuss that. You're going to forget that. And we're going to move on. He don't matter to us.
Yeah, I mean,
He's irrelevant. We're going to go win this race.
It's so funny.
I love Cliff.
I do.
I tell you what.
Larson and Cliff are just great.
Larson and Cliff remind me of Jimmy Johnson and Chad Knaus.
Yeah.
Those two together won 7 championships.
I think Larson can do it.
If anybody can hit 7, it's them.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody can get to 7 again because the championship format makes it
Really
more
hard.
of a dice roll
Yeah.
at the end of the year. But, it's whatever. That's another show.
That's another. We'll get to that.
It's another rant for another show.
I'm sure we'll get to that later this year.
Phoenix.
Yeah.
We'll complain about it in Phoenix when Blaney or Logano win the championship after a mediocre season.
Yeah.
No, but I don't like it. I don't like when these guys blame Larson for everything. I think Larson is an extremely talented driver. Larson entertains us every week.
Oh yeah.
I mean, he can win in anything you put him in. He can win in it.
I'll say it again. I still can't get over him going from 32nd to 4th in like 30 laps.
It's insane.
I mean, it was
in one lap he made it like 7 positions.
I know, and
because you're like, they need a Larson cam.
I did say that. I was like, can we get a Larson cam, please? Because I'm just watching the scoreboard. He's just passing, and I was like, man, I just want to watch him race because he's so good and just such a good racer. And I love Larson, love his talent, and
he's entertaining.
He really is. He's entertaining on the track. That's a fact.
Yeah, I mean that's what we need. We need drivers like if you had 40 drivers like I don't know, it might be exciting if you had 40 drivers who drove on the edge of out of control every single week.
Yeah.
But then again, it might not be nothing. It might just be like 40 drivers driving the same speed, not being able to pass every week.
Yeah, so who knows? But
so Kyle Busch, we alluded to it earlier, he had another RCR kind of day.
Yep.
He pretty much blamed it on the next gen car parts. You know,
yeah, he was like, next gen car parts broken. That was it.
Yeah. Next gen cars doing next gen things, you know.
Yeah.
It reminds me of Harvick it was like Harvick's crappy parts or something. He sold a t-shirt, sold Happy's Crappy's parts. I think it's what it was called. And he sold t-shirts for it.
That's funny.
It was pretty funny, but Kyle's been outspoken since the beginning about this car, the next gen parts and all that. He's not a fan of it. And he broke a toe link, or he bent a toe link, came in, fixed it, went back out, and had a power steering belt break.
Yeah. I mean,
shocker, another bad week for an RCR guy. I mean, Kyle Busch doing RCR things.
I like we said earlier, I feel bad for him because he's a great driver. He's got a lot of talent. He deserves better.
I would like to see him do better on his way out. I feel like Kyle's numbers are probably 3 to 5 years max.
Yeah, he's not long.
No, he's getting up there in age.
Hair's
falling out.
I think if he stays at RCR, that 5 goes down to maybe 2.
Maybe 1.
Yeah.
Next year's it for me, guys. I'm not coming back to another year like this. And it's sad that this car is running so many good drivers off from days of old, but it is what it is.
Yeah. I guess that's kind of what happens when you go from the Gen 6 car to the next gen. Doing stuff like that with such a big change. It'll get rid of your older guys.
Well, Chase Elliott looks like he's starting to figure out this next gen car.
He's been on it all year.
He brought home a 3rd place finish yesterday. I mean, he looked like he had something for the winner, or to win that race with at the end of the race yesterday. Just
his long runs were insane. He was so fast on the long run.
It's nice to see. I mean, he's NASCAR's most popular driver, so when the most popular driver's running good, it's only a good thing. It can't be a bad thing.
He's been running good all year, though. Like,
his average finish is like 9.3 now.
It's insane. I mean, he is by far the most consistent driver in NASCAR right now.
So would you put him in your Final Four?
Absolutely.
I
think he has. Now, to win it, I don't know. But to be in that Final Four, absolutely.
I think your Final Four could very easily be Denny Hamlin, Kyle Larson, William Byron, Chase Elliott.
Yeah.
I wish Bowman could get up and win like 4 in a row, because I wish you could have an all-team Hendricks final.
That would be crazy.
But I think you're going to have 3. Hendricks is just the best out there. That's all there is to it. And if it's not a Hendrick driver, it's a Gibbs driver. I mean, yes, Ford is shown some strength the last couple weeks, but I'm gonna need to see more than some strength to put them ahead of Gibbs and
Right. To
HMS.
put them ahead of dominance.
So Saturday we saw a lot of tire failures in the Xfinity race that led to big hard hits. Sunday we didn't. I think
so why is that?
I think it comes down to better drivers, right? Or is it the car?
I don't know. I mean, I really don't know. It could be the car. It could have been track conditions. It could have been the tire. It could have been the drivers. I don't know.
Well, I mean, think about Saturday when the Xfinity Series had tire blowouts. You had like AJ Allmendinger. I mean, he hit the wall both days from a blown tire. But when he hit that wall Saturday, I gasped. It
was hard. It was a hard
I caught
hit.
my breath. Like, oh, you know, it knocked my breath out. It was so hard. So it's just crazy to me how Saturday the guys blew tires and nailed the wall. Sunday they blew a tire, scuffed the wall. I think that's cautions on Sunday.
I think that's the car.
I do too. I think it's the tires. I think it's those real small sidewalls when they blow. You got the bigger sidewalls on the Xfinity car.
Yeah.
You got the little sidewalls on the Cup car. There's more ground to fall on that Xfinity car. So when it blows, that's a longer drop. So it jerks that car harder towards the right and puts them in the wall.
Yeah.
Cup car, it drops. It's only like 1.5 inches, 2 inch drop. It still pulls them to the wall, but they're able to save it. And it's not as dramatic as the Xfinity car.
Yeah. And I don't know. I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure that the Cup teams can watch the Saturday race and then make some adjustments. Just be like, all right, this is kind of what we're going to have to expect tomorrow.
I think that was more the case years ago when we had the old car because they were similar. Now I think they're so different.
It's hard to make that call.
Yeah, I mean, Xfinity, the Cup drivers will run the Xfinity races to get laps, just repetition, especially on road courses. I mean, you see the Xfinity drivers, the Cup drivers driving up trucks, anything they can get into on a road course for repetition.
Yeah.
And I think it's the same for oval tracks as well, hitting their marks. But overall, I think the cars are so different now. I think it goes back to the tire and the sidewall height.
Yeah.
I think that plays a factor into it. I think you got more air. You got a bigger cavity to hold air in that tire in the Xfinity series. With more air bust out, it's a harder drop. It's a bigger blow. You hit the wall. I think that's why you see the Xfinity cars hitting the wall Saturday versus Sunday with the Cup cars.
Yeah. All right, that makes sense.
I mean, I could be completely wrong.
Could be. We're not experts.
I'm just a fan, but that's using this dyslexic brain. That's what I came up with, at least.
Sounds right to me. So
Sam Meyer is an aggressive driver.
Yes,
but he was able to win Saturday because of it.
Yeah.
Riley Herbst apparently got really mad at him over it.
Really mad. He was
cut his tire down after he won the race.
I know he was not happy at all. And his interview afterwards.
Yeah, I don't understand what Sam did though.
Me neither. He raced him.
He raced him hard, yeah, but
he beat him.
The Xfinity series is full of drivers who cry over getting raced hard.
I know. It's like, can't believe they're better than me.
2 years ago, they were just throwing punches right and left in the Xfinity series. Now they just cry.
It's
like Riley Herbst is getting better every season. He's becoming a really good driver.
But man, like just
you got beat up. You got beat.
You got outdrove.
Sam's aggressive. There's no doubt about it. The boy is he's a very aggressive driver. I like it. I ain't got a problem with it.
No. And I mean, you got Riley Herbst's interview where he's saying he's, frustrated that Sam Mayer doored him on the green-white checker. No, he didn't. You forgot to turn, dude.
Yeah, you went into him.
You forgot to turn your wheel. You didn't. You weren't paying attention. That's your fault.
It's crazy at the lies these drivers try to get us all at home to. And you know what? They're hardcore fans. Like, you know what? Mayer did. Mayer went right down into Herbst.
No,
I saw it. I saw it on TV.
I saw a clip of that interview, and I had to go back and I had to rewatch. I was like, there's no way. I was like, I swear he didn't do that. And yeah, he didn't.
I'm telling you, there's some hillbilly in the hills of West Virginia who don't get but one channel on their TV, and that's USA because they're stealing it from the neighbor's cable box. They're watching that race going, yep, I'm telling you that was Meyer's fault. Sam Mayer, he got right up into him. I'll tell you what, boy. I guarantee it. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
I saw it on Twitter. Like, people were absolutely losing their mind at Sam. Like, I can't believe he did that to Riley.
No,
he deserved everything he got.
He did not. What do you mean deserved everything he got? He won the race.
I think it was awesome. Then he went and did a burnout on a blown tire and just slung sparks around. It was phenomenal.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Like, that car wasn't moving. It was great. I loved it.
I think it all benefited Sam and just discredited Riley.
100%. That's what I'm getting at. Like, it just, I mean, so we had who else hit the wall?
Wasn't it Austin Hill?
Austin Hill hit the wall.
Allgaier
hit the wall. I hated that for Allgaier. I mean, that's like his home. It's not his home state, but his sponsor. I mean,
yeah.
It's like he's got the corn cob on the car. There's the corn at the start-finish line. It just would have all went together for an Allgaier kind of win.
Yeah,
it would have just been perfect. But it's okay.
Yeah.
I hated to see Allgaier hit the wall.
Allmendinger hit the wall.
Yeah, Allmendinger, but we talked about that.
Yeah, so.
He hit the wall both days.
Yeah.
He wanted to be perfect.
You want to go 2 for 2.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes you just feel like hitting the wall 2 days in a row. Know that hurt when he hit that wall. So
yeah.
No,
SVG.
SVG hit the wall. Yeah.
But he lost it, didn't he? He
got loose. I mean, he's still figuring this car out too. Yeah. It's going to take him a while to figure this series out a little bit. So, speaking of figuring this series out, Sheldon Creed.
Yep.
He's got like 30 second place finishes. I think it's like
Dude
9.
Just needs to clean up his racecraft. I mean, he's fast, obviously.
Sloppy.
Yeah, he's not refined enough.
He should be. I mean, he should be. Here's the thing, Sheldon. You're driving a Gibbs car in the Xfinity Series. You're arguably one of the best cars in the series.
Yeah.
You can't Brandon Jones it every year.
Mm-mm.
I mean, Brandon Jones just has money backing him. I don't know if Sheldon Creed might have money backing him too. I don't know that. I hope he does, because that's the only way we see him continue racing. You can't keep finishing second and then make stupid moves at the end of the race. I mean,
right.
He bounced off like 17 cars at the end of the race. He had everything in Iowa except the lottery. Like, it was just one after another on that the last couple restarts. He just
couldn't get it together.
He chokes.
Yes.
Like Denny.
Yeah.
He's like Denny in a championship race.
Yep.
I need Denny to win the championship this year so we can quit picking on Denny about that.
No.
I need Sheldon to win a race so we can stop picking on him about it.
Knowing Denny, he's probably going to choke. I don't know. At the start of the year, it was looking optimistic. The past couple weeks for Denny, it's just been rough.
Yeah, he blew a motor lap 2.
Yeah.
At Sonoma. Within 10 laps at Iowa, he's like 3 laps down.
I know. I mean, we watched the start of that race, and I'm like, Denny's struggling, man.
Yeah, he was. He looked worse than B.J. McLeod and some of those guys back in the day. He looked worse than Rick Ware 4 years ago.
And that's bad.
When Cody was driving.
That's bad.
Yeah, he looked like a Cody Ware driver.
But, I mean, he comes over the radio. We hear his radio. He's like, car's not turning. I don't know what to tell you.
Doing everything I can.
Yeah, he's like, I don't know what to tell you. Car won't turn. So, I mean, it's not Denny's fault, which is like, the hard part. And, I mean, we saw.
It's a Gibbs thing.
Yeah, I know. I mean, we've seen it with, Truex has been struggling a little bit. Did Truex blow a motor? I don't think he did.
Yesterday?
No, not yesterday.
He ran out of gas at Sonoma.
That's what it was. He ran out of gas.
And we cheered him across to last.
Yeah.
Finished last on the lead lap.
Yeah, that's right. But, yeah, I mean, Denny's just had a rough week. And, I mean, he came back, and he was in 6th there before he got taken out, which, again, just another tough break. I mean, wrong spot, wrong time.
I agree. I think Denny did not have a winning car. He had a top 20 car yesterday.
Yeah.
And because Suarez put Larson into Denny, which Denny tried to wreck Larson too. He bumped into Larson, got Larson all squirrely, but Larson was able to say, I don't think Denny meant that. I don't think
he was just racing.
Yeah. I think Larson might have got a little loose, slipped up, and Denny got into him. And it didn't look good. but I don't think Denny I think Denny screwed up, got into him. There was nothing intentional about it. I don't think those two are going to have a fist fight.
Yeah.
I think they're good. They're not texting, "I'm sorry" and "I love you" emojis today. They're just good. This was just racing.
Yeah.
I don't think it's that big a deal.
But yeah, I hope we can see Denny get back in a good car, see him actually contend for a win.
I think they'll get the cars back good again. I mean, it's the ebbs and flow, It's just NASCAR, the ups and downs of NASCAR. This is just an up and down of NASCAR for Denny. I mean,
it's definitely a down.
Yeah. I think he'll be all right, though. I'm not hitting the panic button.
No. I mean, he's still got 3 wins. He's still fast.
Shout out Butterbean.
Yeah.
He won this weekend, the Cars Tour race.
He's been doing great.
Keelan Harvick, shout out to him. He won in the Legends Car race before the Cars Tour race. Yesterday, because we had to start the race at 7 p.m. because of swimming tryouts for the Olympics, I had to watch Flow Racing to catch up on my racing from Saturday. So I watched the Cars Tour race. I watched the Legends Car race. I watched a couple Sprint Cars races. I mean, watched a lot of short tracks Sunday afternoon for Father's Day, enjoying some racing while I waited on NASCAR to get it together and come on at 7 p.m. I know Brandon is happy with the 7 p.m. start time. He would have liked to have had it later. But I think if we're going to run races that late, we need to do it on Saturday night, not Sunday night.
Yeah.
My father-in-law, he didn't even get to watch the race. He's got to be up at 4 in the morning.
Yeah.
So he had to go home and go to bed. He didn't even get to watch the Cup race.
I know, it's crazy.
So
what time did we finish that race? Like 10 o'clock?
A little after 10. I went right to bed. I was done.
Yeah, I wasn't far behind.
So Sonoma, we didn't talk about it any. Truex ran out of gas. We talked about that.
Yeah.
Ross Chastain wrecked Kyle Busch at the very end of the race there.
Once again.
Trackhouse. That's their MO.
Yeah. And, I mean, hate it for Kyle again.
Dude's got the worst luck ever.
Well, he was like top 5, right?
Yeah.
He was like 5th. And then.
It's the RCR curse is what I'm going to go with. It's got to be. Richard has done something bad. I don't know what Richard's done, but he does something wrong because the curse is real.
It has to be.
If you've never heard of it, you heard it first here. We just kind of made it up, so that's why you heard it first here.
Yep.
But the RCR curse, it's hurting. It's hurting him. It's killing Kyle. Now you could see it in his interviews. The dude's not happy.
No, and I don't blame him.
No, I'd be about ready to retire too.
Yeah.
But speaking of him and Ross Chastain, I don't know if that's Ross's fault or if Kyle was running out of gas. Guys on door bumper clear, they said it looked like Kyle was slowing down a little bit in the turn, like his car sputtered maybe on the data. So maybe that's why Kyle didn't go fight him at the end of the day, or maybe Kyle just didn't want to get punched by Ross Chastain after being punched by Ricky. I really don't know. Maybe Kyle's tired of getting punched.
Yeah, who knows?
He needs like a fight double. Like, all right, go get him.
He needs his
pretend you're me. You go fight for me.
Yeah, he needs his little right-hand man. He needs his henchman.
He's like a Kyle Busch fighter clone.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, when you get older, man, fighting hurts. You don't want to do it.
Yeah, all right. Go get him for me.
It actually hurts all the time, so I'd advise against fighting. It does hurt to get punched in the face. Dude.
I'm sure.
It's not something you want to do. It's not something you sign up for either, unless you're an idiot. But there's a few of them out there, I guess.
Well, luckily I'm not an idiot. So.
Hey, you got plenty of time.
Thanks.
What else you got?
I think that's it.
We covered everything. We talked a little bit of Sonoma. Denny blew up on lap 2. I didn't think he broke a sweat. I wonder how Ty Gibbs, his cool suit broke yesterday. I wonder how that went for him.
Oh, yeah.
They never updated that. I always heard when the cool suits break, the water inside turns hot.
Oh, really?
Well, it's hot in those cars,
right.
So that water inside the cool suit.
They had thermometers. There's like 114 in there.
Yeah, that's enough to make that water inside that cool suit hot, so then it's just smothering you.
Yeah, so.
That was miserable.
I wonder how he did.
Next race is next weekend. We'll be at New Hampshire at 2:30 p.m. It will be on the USA Network again. And this is another shorter track. Not a short track. It's not an intermediate. It is a shorter track. Just instead of saying short track racing, just add ER. Shorter track racing. That's all it is. Call it what it is. Let's just be honest here. We ain't got to make up things for marketing. So it's an oval style track. Should be a good one. Probably going to be boring, but it should be good. Used to be good at one time, but maybe if they take the tire they had this weekend.
Who knows?
I mean, if the guys have to control how they drive to keep their tire from blowing, it
That is good.
seems to make the racing a lot better. That's all I'm saying.
See, it's crazy. When it takes more talent to actually drive the car, it makes better racing.
That's all we're asking for. Let
Crazy.
the guys show their talent levels. So,
Yep.
other than that, thank you everyone for listening, watching, sharing the show on social media. We greatly appreciate it. Make sure you follow us on Twitter. We are at Car Backwards. I'm going to start calling it Twitter again.
Yeah.
I don't like X.
I thought they said they were going to change their name back.
They're talking about it, but I'm going to go ahead and make the change personally. So we're going back to Twitter.
Yeah.
Make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel and check out all our videos, our shorts, stuff like that. Check us out on Spotify. Make sure you follow us there and rate us. Subscribe to the show on Apple Podcasts. Leave us a review like Brandon did. It helps other people find the show when you leave us a review on Apple. Give us a like and subscribe to us on YouTube Music as well. If you feel the need, you're more than welcome to email us. It's racecarbackwardspod@gmail.com. Make sure to check out Designs by Sydney and support her work as well. Other than that, you guys have a great week, and we will talk to you on episode 100 next week. Thanks, everybody. Bye.